Hey, what is going on, everyone? This is Brandon Schwab from SPS. I'm doing a rent to own 101 overview for anybody that is interested in this. There's definitely some huge benefits of it, and I'm going to actually create this video so everybody's on the same page, and I'm going to explain some commonly asked terms and questions about the whole program. I'm going to keep this video under 10 minutes. If you have any other questions, I want to give you my direct email up front. It is Brandon at Schwab Property Solutions with an S.com. All right, so if you have any questions that I don't answer in this video, send me an email and we will talk soon. Whoops. What we are going to be covering here is a rent to own. All right, so a rent to own term is kind of the general term for what we call in the industry a lease option. Okay. So I'm going to be talking to our buyers first, but I'm also going to be talking to sellers. Lease option. Okay. So we're going to have a house. Okay. It's going to kind of look like this. All right. And the house may be underwater. The house may not be underwater, but we typically have a buyer and then we have a seller. All right. And what our company does is we match these two for people that are looking to get into homes that maybe we'll call them credit challenged, people that maybe have had a bankruptcy in the past, a short sale in the past, anybody that's had a foreclosure, short sale, bankruptcy, deed in lieu, maybe a divorce, really anybody that kind of fits that crowd, which in fact, if you're here, don't feel alone. In fact, 83% of our country is in this position. And how this breaks out is 60% of our country has a credit score between 300 and 640, and another 23% of our country is self-employed. Okay, so self-employed means very difficult to get any bank loans. So 83% of our country is unable to get traditional bank financing. So if you're here, you have plenty of other people that are there too. But this is this is called a hybrid solution to today's 2013 market needs. Okay, so what this does is a rent-to-own home. We've got a seller that could own a home free and clear. Okay, he could be under water on the home. Okay, but what the seller is going to do is the seller is going to give a buyer financing. Okay, financing that typically does not involve any credit check. Okay, how does that happen? Great question. The financing is a key part, and in fact, it's a very valuable part because when banks aren't, all right, so this is going to be a picture of the banks, okay? When the banks of the world aren't lending, people really don't have a whole ton of choices, okay? Today, if you don't have fantastic credit with assets to be able to put up and pledge, it's very difficult in order to get financing today. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a gigantic red X through our wonderful B of A type banks. B of A, Chase, all of these companies that got a huge bailout, they aren't lending. So this is a huge problem today, which creates the ability for this rent-own program. So obviously you can tell I didn't do very good in art class back in high school. So please forgive us, but hopefully this is able to help explain rent own and how this is able to work. All right, so what happens is, in order to have no credit check, okay, somebody needs to put up a reasonable down payment, okay, a reasonable to strong down payment, okay, and then they also have a monthly payment, okay, which has something called a rent credit, okay, and I'm going to give you a pretty good example of a house that was done recently, and let's give you an example of a seller. Let's call him Mark, okay? He has a house that is a 4-bedroom, 2-bath in southern part of Wisconsin, okay? He wanted to sell this home for $200,000. His company was able to transfer him, and he was open to do a lease option. So our company, SPS, was able to negotiate a lease option on his house here, which is a 4-bedroom, 2-bath, for $200,000. And what we were able to do is, a buyer here was able to get into this house. Let's call this buyer Joe, okay? Joe here had to put down a down payment, for example, of anywhere from $5,000 to $15,000 on a typical deal, okay? So let's call this on a percent basis of 3 to 10%. Okay, so as the prices of the home goes up, so does the down payment. But $5,000 to $10,000 would qualify you for a no credit check. Okay, and that's huge when people are concerned on their credit. So what we are looking for is, this seller is looking for is somebody that wants to own this home here without having to go to the bank here. And as we pointed over here, banks are the bad guy today, because they aren't helping people get into homes anymore. So what we're doing is, the seller's giving financing, but he would want to know that the buyer's got, so let's call this skin in the game, okay? They want to know that a buyer is qualified more than a typical tenant. You have to think about the seller's point of view, is that if he rents his home, okay, he has a total of 8 options, and one of his options is to rent the home. But if he rents to a typical tenant that maybe puts the first and last month down, what typically happens is they typically have issues, they're chasing people, and any repairs is going to be going to the seller. Okay, the difference of this program is there is a down payment which qualifies you to control the asset without going to the bank, and then there's a monthly payment. All right, so in this example here, it's a $200,000 house. Joe wanted the lowest possible payment, so he put down $15,000. And this is a example here, but $15,000 he was able to give to our seller Mark here, and he has a balance now of $185,000. Okay, so let's say his down payment is $15,000. His monthly payment is, let's say for this example, is $1,700. Okay, but out of this $1,700, $300 of this would go towards a rent credit. All right, so he's paying $1,700, which is paid to an escrow company. Okay, we use an escrow company because the escrow company pays all of the seller's taxes. Okay, the escrow company pays the insurance, and they also pay the mortgage company, and they also hold the rent credit. Okay, why is this important? Fantastic question. This is important because the only time these deals blow up is when buyers go directly to sellers without having proper third-party representation representation to set the deal up right. Okay, so if the buyer goes directly to the seller and those payments are going directly there, what happens if the seller is not making the payments on the taxes? Okay, the insurance, the mortgage. Okay, as sad as it is, that actually happens. And I have heard of horror stories where these buyers come in and they're in a position where they are not able to get into the home and qualify. All right, guys, I'm back. Sorry in that. I got a phone call I had to take. So what we have here is we have a tenant buyer that can get into a home, and they would pay a little bit higher monthly payment. But the cool thing is he has a total of 60 months in order to qualify for the end purchase of this home. And I realize I'm going over 10 minutes, but hopefully this is able to get all of your questions answered. We typically have terms anywhere from 60 months up to 120 months, depending on the price. I have homes that are less than that period of time, but those are really good deals, and the prices are equivalent or maybe a little bit above today's price. All right. Hopefully this was able to answer your question. We can go over this example one time. Joe would be the buyer. He finds a house here that he likes. Okay. We currently do have a site that has quite a bit of homes. You can go to leaseoptionahometoday.com. All right, and I would want you to check out properties. And all these properties here you can check out. We've got a 4-bedroom, 2-bath in Algonquin, 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath in Algonquin. This home has an offer today, so these homes definitely go quickly. This is a 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath in Cary, which this one's kind of cool because it has a basement. This one here has two different prices. This is $315,000 for this 4-bedroom home. You can scroll through here, see all these pictures. This guy is actually putting brand new carpet throughout in this house, which is cool, on the 25th of January. But I want to give you a heads up that there's a lot of flexibility. For example, on this house here, this price can actually go down to $265,000 if you choose to only take 5 years. So the further you go out, the higher the price would go. We've got a house here at 348 Ridge Avenue. It's a 4-bedroom, 2-bath up in Crystal Lake. This home needs a little bit of work. Okay, it's a split level ranch. It has a huge 2-car garage, big fenced in yard, but it needs a little bit of work. All right, so this here would be more for like the handy people. It's about 2,300 square feet, and payments would be as low as $1,500 per month with a good down payment, and as high as about $2,300 per month. All right. We've got a house down in Florida for only $55,000. So how cool would it be to have a house within an hour of Disney for only $55,000 with a big down payment of $20,000? If you put as little as $5,000 down, that home would only be $65,000. I got a beautiful house in Gilbert, which is very close to St. Charles in the I-90 highway. So that's a cool one. That's got cherry cabinets. Very beautiful place. Here's a beautiful kitchen, dining room, every option possible on this house. It's got granite throughout, nice cabinets, granite. It has every option as far as can lights. It's got a brick front, siding on the sides and the back. $325,000. This one here only has a 3-year option. We have a house in Joliet. In fact, this house in Ingleside has just been sold. I'm going to take this off of the website today. Beautiful house. Brian and Jill Hush were able to get into it. It's a beautiful house off the water. Tile, beautiful kitchen. I mean, if you take a peek at this kitchen, I mean, this place definitely went quickly, as most of our homes do. So if you were able to find anything that you like, definitely tell us. Even if you don't, I would want you to go to rent to own 911.com, and this is going to take you to a site here that I want you to fill out this application right here. And again, you can see a quick video of us talking. In fact, it's not liking this browser. We're going to go over here to rent to own 911.com. And then here you can actually fill out the info of what you are looking for, and get all this good info going, and then we can find you a home even if we don't have it currently in our current inventory. All right. I know I went over a little bit, and I'm having a hard time getting things here to load, but this page right here, when this is able to come up, is not responding. All right. If you have any questions, I can be reached by email, and hopefully that helps. All right. Take care. God bless, and hopefully we can find you a property that fits what you are looking for. All right. Take care. Bye now.